Hey readers, welcome back to For the Love of Reading with me, Justin. I've got an amazing...
Wait. You cannot press any of those other buttons. You've got to press one button, only one button. It is the full screen button at the bottom of this screen so that you can see all of the pictures and you can read all of the words along with that Justin guy. Now, I'm hiding so that he does not see me. Shh.
What just happened? Did I get interrupted? Did you hear what I said about today's book? It's a really amazing book and I know you're gonna love it. So I'm gonna find out what's going on with my camera because I feel like something just happened. While I go do that, you go and listen to the true story of the three little pigs. And we'll come back here together after the story. Enjoy in 3, 2, 1, go! The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolfe, as told by John Siska, illustrated by Lane Smith. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story, because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolfe. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But, like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So, I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. Achoo! And I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger, just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back,
Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin.
I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed. Achoo! A great sneeze. And you're not gonna believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there's a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little bit better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar from my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup from my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down that pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and achoo, sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that. Huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar?
Well, that makes this whole story a lot trickier to understand. Do you agree with Al that he was just going to get a cup of sugar for his granny's cake? And all those accidents happened because the pigs built silly houses? Or do you still think that he is a big bad wolf who is just looking to eat some pork? This is harder now. I don't know. Because now I have empathy with the big bad wolf. I never thought that I would say that. Empathy means that I am starting to understand his side of the story. And that's really important for us to do. Like when I get in an argument with my sister, or when I'm with my friend and I think it's my turn to have the ball, but he says it's his turn to have the ball. Empathy helps us to have a conversation and listen to each other and think about things from the other person's point of view. Well, if you like that story, I would really, really recommend Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Alexander is also having a really bad day, kind of like the big bad wolf. I mean, Al. And sometimes Alexander gets blamed for things that aren't really his fault, kind of like the big bad wolf. Al. It's a really great story. I'm going to go and find Friday's bedtime book, which I also hope you come back for. But right now, you should go listen to Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I'm going to go find a good book. And we will see you next time here on For the Love of Reading. See you next time.